Hey guys, it's Nora. I miss you. I'm here for another session of Tyke Tales. Our topic today is going to be neighborhoods and taking walks and seeing things in windows and bears, which doesn't seem all related, but trust me, eventually it'll all become clear. Why don't you guys get yourselves some snacks? I've sliced bananas today, but whatever you feel like. And I wanted to have a quick word with your parents. I'm sure they didn't leave you to your own devices, so if they could just come hither for a minute. I wanted to let you know that the Lodi Food Pantry is still in operation. They're doing like drive-up service, so you just drive up to the church in Lodi every Saturday between 2 and 4, and they give you an emergency box of food. It's fresh items, some frozen items, some shelf-stable items. It's super helpful, so please take advantage of it if you need it. That's every Saturday, 2 to 4 at the Lodi Church. Also, I wanted to make you aware of, if you aren't already, 211, which is similar to 911, but it's instead of like emergency immediate needs, it's kind of more still vital needs, but not emergencies. If you need food, if you're having trouble with housing or health insurance, and you need help, they'll guide you toward the resources that you need. They also have a fantastic website. If instead of calling you want to see the website, here, I'll bring you over there. The website is called 211lifeline.org, and you'll see it here. Seneca County. So all kinds of resources, select the county, you can do a search, or you can look up the topics. As you see, they're super broad. They can probably guide you toward any kind of help you need, but I just wanted to make sure all my families knew about it. I also wanted to offer the service of making printouts for you. I know that some schools are asking kids to do schoolwork at home, and if there's things that you need to print off and you can't do that at home because you don't have a printer, like I don't, if you email me and send an attachment, I'll be happy to print it and mail it to you. Again, this is my email, youth@lodilibrary.net. Also, if you're interested in being on our email listserv, for me to keep constant contact with you, you can also send an email to me and I'll go ahead and add you. I tried to add as many Tyke Tales families that I could think of, but if I missed you, please send me an email. I'd like to include you. Okay, so time for walks and bears and neighborhoods. I hope you guys are getting outside, even though the weather is still not very springy. Let's start out with my first book. It's called Windows. It's actually pretty new to our library. It's by Julia Denos. At the end of the day, before the town goes to sleep, you can look out your window. And see more little windows lit up like eyes in the dusk, blinking awake as the lights turn on inside, a neighborhood of paper lanterns. You can take a walk out your door into the almost night. You might pass a cat. Do you guys see the cat crossing the road? Or an early raccoon taking a bath in squares of yellow light. Looks like he has a little apple. One window might be tall with the curtains drawn, or small with a party inside. Between two windows, there could be a phone used for good ideas. It looks like they made a phone out of two cans and a string. There might be a hug or a piano, and someone might be learning to dance. Another window could be dark, with a sleeping plant or two, or maybe bright and rounded like the moon. Some windows will have dinner or TV. Others are empty and leave you to fill them up with stories. Then you arrive home again and you look at your window from the outside, and someone you love is waving at you, and you can't wait to go in. And so you do. I love that story. I think it's so sweet. So something I wanted to tell you about, unless you're already doing it, I don't know, but all around the country, people are putting like bears in their windows, either stuffed bears, pictures of bears, to kind of serve as entertainment for people that are taking walks during this time, and they'll get to see bears in people's windows. There's lots of ways that you can do this. You can use a stuffed animal. Like you'll see I have a stuffed animal bear here that's going to make its way to the window eventually. You could make a bear out of felt or clay or a paper plate. You could have your bear doing funny things like Elf on the Shelf type stuff. You can have your bear with a sign saying something. I kind of like Winnie the Pooh's hello, but you can use anything you want. You could have your bear in a grouping like lions, tigers, and bears from The Wizard of Oz. Anything really that just serves as a signal is, hey, we're here, and we can't really be close together right now, but at least it's sort of like a little smoke signal. So I think today we're going to draw bears together, and hopefully put them in our windows. I think I'm going to start with a bear story first, and then we'll make some bears. This is called The Bear at the Piano by David Litchfield. One day in the forest, a young bear cub found something he'd never seen before. What could this strange thing be, he thought. Here. Shyly, he touched it with his stubby paws. Plonk. The strange thing made an awful sound. Do you guys know what that strange thing is? So the bear left, but the next day he came back. And the day after that, and for weeks and months and years. Did you notice how the seasons changed with the trees? Until eventually, the sounds that came from the strange thing were beautiful, and the bear had grown big and strong and grizzly. When the bear played, he felt so happy the sounds took him away from the forest, and he dreamed of strange and wonderful lands. He does look happy. Look at his little bear face. It wasn't long before the other bears in the forest were drawn to the clearing, and every night a crowd gathered to listen to the magical melodies coming from the bear and the strange thing. Then one night, a girl and her father came across the clearing. They told the bear that the strange thing was a piano, and that the sounds it made were music. Come to the city with us, they said. There's lots of music there. You can play grand pianos in front of hundreds of people, and hear sounds so beautiful they will make your fur stand on end. The bear knew that if he left the forest, the other bears would be very sad. But he longed to explore the world beyond the woods, to hear more wonderful music and to play bigger and better than before. And before long, they're in a boat. The bear's name was up in big bright lights in the big bright city. He played sold-out concerts in giant theaters. I like his tuxedo. Every night he performed with such passion and such grace, to wild applause and standing ovations and huge admiration. The bear recorded albums that went platinum. He was interviewed for magazines. He won awards. He met new people every day and created headlines everywhere he went. Wow. The city was everything he had hoped it would be, but deep down, something tugged at the bear's heart. He had fame and awards and all the music in the world, but he missed the forest. He missed his old friends, and he missed his home. So the bear decided to go back. He speedily crossed the river and excitedly pounded into the forest. Couldn't wait to tell his friends about his time in the city. But when the bear reached the familiar clearing, it was empty. No piano, no bears, no anything, and the bear started to worry that his friends had forgotten him, or that they were angry and that they had left him behind. Then a friend stepped into the clearing. "Hello," cried the bear. "I'm back. I've missed you so much." Without saying a word, the gray bear ran back into the trees. "Wait," called the bear. "I'm sorry I left. Please stop." But his friend just kept running. The bear stumbled after him, moving deeper and deeper into the forest until he saw something that made his fur stand on end. I wonder what he sees. For the bear had not been forgotten. His friends weren't angry. They were proud. The bear realized that no matter where he went or what he did, they would always be there watching from afar. They had even kept the piano safe, in the shade, ready for his return. So after the bear had told his friends about his life in the city and the many concerts that he had played, he sat down to play once more, and this time for the most important audience of all. The end. I like that idea of a piano in the forest. So would you guys like to draw a bear? So I did find this website, and I'll put it in the show notes, but I'll give you a little peek right now. Draw a bear 4 different ways. I thought these were really creative because they kind of drawing a bear using shapes, which is what I'm going to do with you too. So you can see here the different options. I like this one because his mouth is open. But you can see it's just a series of shapes. Here's another one. And again, shapes. Here's the third. He's cute. I like his mouth. And again, just a series of shapes, not as hard as it seems. And here's number 4. He's cute. He has a little scarf on. I like that. Here's some shapes. So we're gonna draw a super simple version of that. Let's just do a bear face. I think it's just circles. Maybe you guys grab a piece of paper, marker or crayon. You could use bear brown, but your bear doesn't have to be brown. Why don't we just start with a circle for his head, right? Maybe 2. Leave it down. Mr. Nora's trying to help me here so that you can see. So here's some circles for ears. It's okay if your bear isn't perfect. Mine certainly is not. Let's add another circle inside the ear, like this. You can make that a little bit different color. Then maybe his snoot, right? They have those nice sniffy snoots right here. With, what's that? It's his nose. And color it in a little bit. So what else does the bear need? Oh yeah, the eyes, right? Let's make more circles. And there's the eyes. Maybe he's looking out the window. So if you guys want to make a bear like that on a piece of paper and put it in your window, yours will probably look different, and that's kind of fun. Like I said, it could be bear color or not. Now you might be wondering, like, so Miss Nora, I live really far from the road. I have a really long driveway. Nobody is ever going to walk by my house and see my bear. But here's the thing. If you're playing outside, you'll get to see the bear, and that's really fun. I often like to walk around outside my house and look back at my house and see the lights turning on and off and hearing my kids argue inside. And then I'm like, wow, I'm lucky to have a house. I'm lucky to have lights. I'm lucky to have kids that argue. So put out a bear, even if nobody walks by your house. Let's read another story. So this is another new one to our library. I don't think I've ever read it before. This is called Our Favorite Day. Every morning, Papa wakes up and he drinks some tea. He waters his plants and he tidies up, then he gets dressed and he puts on his coat and he takes the bus to town. While he walks through town, he has an idea. Looks like he's outside a craft store. When he gets to the restaurant, he sits down and he orders. The waitress says, "The usual?" And he says, "Yes, please." And then he enjoys his favorite lunch, dumplings. Oh, yum, that sounds good. On his way home, Papa notices some flowers growing along the path. And that night, he goes to bed early. The next morning, Papa wakes up, he drinks some tea, waters his plants, and tidies up. Then he gets dressed and puts on his coat and takes the bus to town. First, he stops at the craft store to pick up a few things. He says, "I need some supplies today." And she says, it must be Thursday. Then he heads to the dumpling house. He says, "2 orders to go, please." On his way home, he stops to pick some flowers, and then he waits. What do you guys think he's waiting for? Papa! Looks like his granddaughter's home. I missed you. Me too. I got some dumplings for lunch. Yay, I love dumplings. What are we going to make today, Papa? Well, let's see what we have here. Straws, string, crayons, and polka dot paper. What do you think we could make? Oh my goodness. She can make all sorts of things. I hope you guys have been digging into your craft box too. Let's go fly it. That's a great idea. Looks like she made a kite. Thursdays are my favorite days. Mine too. And here they are, flying their kite together. I like that story. It's nice. So I think we are going to read one more story, and then I'm going to tell you a surprise about the library. So, are you guys excited? I hope so. This one is called The Quiet Book. And it's about all different types of quiet. There are many kinds of quiet. First one, awake quiet. Looks like he's doing exercises. Jelly side down quiet. Don't scare the robin quiet. Others telling secrets quiet. Coloring in the lines quiet. Thinking of a good reason you were drawing on the wall quiet. Oh dear. Hide and seek quiet. Can you see him? Last one to get picked up from school quiet. Swimming underwater quiet. Swimming with a fish. Pretending you're invisible quiet. Lollipop quiet. First look at your new hairstyle quiet. Sleeping sister quiet. Right before you yell, surprise, quiet. Making a wish quiet. Top of the roller coaster quiet. Best friends don't need to talk quiet. Surprise visit from Aunt Tilly quiet. What does she have? Looks like an iguana on a leash. Do iguanas bite quiet? Before the concert starts quiet. Trying not to hiccup quiet. First snowfall quiet. car ride at night quiet. Too many bubbles quiet. Story time quiet. Tucking in Teddy quiet. Oh, he has a bear too. Bedtime kiss quiet. What flashlight quiet. Sound asleep quiet. I thought you could like that book. So, I want to make sure I told you everything I want to tell you. So, the surprise. The surprise is that there are 21 bears at our library right now waiting for you to go over there and count them. So all of the bears are visible from the outside. Some are on the property, some are inside but looking out the windows. I want you to be safe and use, social distancing. I don't want, crowds of people showing up at the library to count the bears, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. But just a little entertainment for you while you're taking your walks through Lodi. Take a gander at the library and see our bears. They're very friendly. So as the weeks go on, I think I'll keep telling you how the bears are doing and what they have to say and the messages they have for you. It should be fun. So I'm going to go now. I will see you next week. I think we're going to do some stories that include poetry because it is National Poetry Month. And you and your families be well. So give me a little virtual hug. I miss you very much. Bye-bye.